How many of you like to live the 100 or more? How about living well and healthy? Let us promote well-being in older adults. The art of aging well is to live better, not just longer. There are many who are turning 60 each day. When we think of aging, what does it mean to grow older and the purpose of it? And what are the challenges growing older? And how to improve ourselves? We are happy to have Dr. Dominic Benjamin from Bangalore Baptist Hospital in our studio, who is an aging and diabetic specialist and a geriatrician. He also runs an Age Well clinic. So, doctor, what are the challenges with aging?
Quite a few challenges, physical challenges, mental challenges, and psychological challenges. Physical challenges, as you age, your different organs age at a different pace. Sometimes your heart ages much better than your liver, and your kidney ages at a different speed. So each organ ages a different thing. And if you are not looked after your organs, and if they are doing badly, you may be 55 or 50 in your chronological calendar age, but biologically you may be 70. What do I mean by that? At 50, if you're not looked after yourself, you can't run for a bus, you can't climb up a stairs, you'll be huffing and puffing. And that's one of the big challenges. People don't look after themselves. And they feel that, oh, they want to catch up later on. Suddenly they want to become healthy after 50. It doesn't work like that, I'm afraid. So you need to be much more consistent from your teens and thing. And also a lot of psychological issues with aging, challenges with aging. Because change in family structure, children get married, your house was all bubbly and buzzing, suddenly becomes empty and lonely. So something called emptiness syndrome. Suddenly you also lose a lot of your school friends when you go to college.
Yep.
You lose your college friends when you go into a labor market. You lose your friends from the labor market when you retire. So a lot of transition happens that worries them a lot, and a lot of them become lonely. And also a lot of them they're not financially very prudent, they don't look after themselves, they don't have an insurance. So suddenly people who are secure, doing well, suddenly come realize that, oh my God, it all looks bleaker. What am I going to do? My children are away. Are they going to look after me? A lot of fear sets in.
And then,
And some of them don't mingle with the community. They don't have much friends and they try to make it up. Sometimes they have a stereotype that once you're old, you can't learn things. You can always learn new things.
True.
So a whole lot of challenges that you face, and in a country like India, just going to the mall, is there a ramp for me, or can I climb up? Is there a lift for me, or is there a decent restroom which I can use? Because a lot of older people have problem in terms of, they have to pass urine and things like that. So I think simple things which we take it for granted. Even the payments are not in place where we live. The payments can be challenging. So for them, it's a big fear. Am I going to fall? Who's going to look after me? So I think it's a huge field.
True.
By itself, yeah.
So, you might have encountered a lot of people with the common issues. So, what is that one common question that has been asked by the older people who come to you?
A lot of questions, but a lot of them are worried about. A lot of them are worried a lot. I expected them to enjoy the harvest of labor, and they retired. They worked very hard. I wanted to believe that they're going to have a good time enjoying the harvest and spending time with the family and things like that. But a lot of them are worried because of the poor health, because of psychological challenges, as I mentioned to you, because of change in family structure, or maybe the relationship has not been very warm and healthy. And many a times spouse realize that the problems surface because the children are gone. They're empty. And sort of things. So a lot of things are not being resolved. So the big challenge is about health. Am I going to be healthy?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, once they cross 70, when they see another person dying, they think, oh, it's my time is coming. My friends are going.
Yeah.
Am I going to die? People are worried about death, but dying scares them.
Scares them.
Yeah, I think it sort of fills them with fear.
So, how does society view aging, doctor?
Well, in India, I'm not sure whether our attitudes have changed, but in the Western world, things are changing. Not many people are ageist. What do I mean by that? It's like, being a racist or a sexist. You know what I mean? A lot of people are not ageist. That means they don't sort of stereotype and say, oh, because you're 60, you can't do this. You could be 60 and you can be more productive than a 40-year-old. You know what I mean? So, but in India, I think we still have this sort of stereotype attitude that once you cross a certain age, you can't do this. I can't re-employ you in terms of employment, in terms of career. A lot of people start their career in their 50s, learn new language or go to college, learn new things, but it's not available in this country. And a lot of them used to have a very, what do you say, respectable view about aging. I don't know whether you realize that when I was young, when I get into a bus, when I see an older person, I used to give way to him to sit. That used to be the culture, that you respect people who are old thing. But now that's changed. And also in the family, whether it's relevant or not, they always used to sort of sound it to the older people, saying that, look, we are doing this, we are buying a property, is it right or wrong?
Opinions.
They give wisdom, that's something which you can't. But now that's gone, and they feel that, oh, I think my time is not good, I'm not consulted, and many a times they eat on their own, and children eat separately. They're not in sync with what's happening in the family. They don't have a dining table talk about what's going on. They're not part of the thing. So I think, yeah, and also older people think that, oh, all these young people are into mobile. They are all, weird, and they're all stuck to www.com, whatever it is, but they think, oh, I can't use a WhatsApp, I can't use a Facebook. You know what I mean? So they also need to change with times. They need to use technology for building relationship and a lot of positive things from it.
Yeah. So from both the ends, the perceptions has to change.
Has to change, yes. I think, but I think once you, after a certain age, it's very difficult for you to change attitudes. Yes, of course you can, but the younger people should understand that they didn't live in a KFC generation. They didn't have instant gratification. They had to work towards it. Sometimes they don't understand why is that they get married, they want a flat, they want to go buy a car, and they have to go to a big destination for a honeymoon. They live within the means, and they just can't understand why people take debts. You know what I mean? So I think there's certain things that we think they don't believe in, all those things. But I mean, over a period of time, you need to accommodate them and also make them realize that they're still productive. I think once you realize that you're not productive, you start dying much before you're actually dying. And that's miserable. They feel that they're unwanted, they're not needed. It's very hard for anybody to feel that you're not wanted, you're not cared for, you're not valuable. The two words, if they don't feel valued and valuable, I think they go down very badly. Yeah, I think that's what happens. And unfortunately, one of the spouse dies after a long relationship, they really go down very badly. Yeah, and most of them are not prepared.
Yeah.
And a lot of my people whom I see, I treat a person, not a patient, because I look at everything about a person. A lot of them say, doctor, when I was young, when my son went to America, I was so proud. I told everybody that my son is in America. Now I regret why I sent him to America. And a lot of my people whom I meet, they have a lot of money in the bank. They're very rich. They have a fridge loaded with food, and they have a chauffeur to drive them around. They have everything to live with, but they have nothing to live for.
True.
And that's a very lonely place to be in, and it really breaks the heart to see that they have everything to eat, but they don't feel like eating. They have a house, but they don't have a home. They have a wonderful bed, but they just can't sleep. So, but I mean, it's one of the things that happens as the city grows and people keep their options and migrate because labor market or skill market or education, whatever it is. So they're not prepared, especially this generation. They looked after their parents. They thought the children will look after them. They feel they've been betrayed.
Yeah.
The children can't come back from the US for whatever reason, or America or Australia or UK, because they are settled, the children are grown up, they can't come and settle in India.
Yeah.
And so they feel that, they can't go on live in US because they feel out of place. Holiday visiting is fine, seeing White House for a couple of times is fine. After that, it's get bored.
Yeah.
So they don't want to stay there. They want to be local people. But they are stuck between neither here nor there. And children are stuck as well. They just can't come here.
True.
They can't stay in peace. So I think it's a process. I hope, I hope for myself that when I'm aging, I need to be aware that I need to age well, and also I may be on my own. I may lose my spouse. My children may migrate. So I can't expect them to be next to me. At least I'm prepared for it. I don't feel I'm betrayed, that I'm being shortchanged. And, so I think it's a process. I hope we sort of mature and sort of and think about it. But you always be mindful about an older person. The scars in the hands and wrinkles on the face is a testament of sacrifice and love. And I'm here because my parents looked after me. It's not that I just think. I can never repay back my parents what they've done. So I need to be always be mindful. And when you meet an older person, look at him with a thanksgiving
Yeah.
view that because of them the roads are built, the dams are built, we're enjoying the fruits of it. You know what I mean? So I think it's the way you look at them and perceive them. Even if you can't do anything, a kind word, a kind gesture, saying hello, thank you, that really makes a huge difference to them. They feel that they sometimes they feel that they're not wanted at all by the society because their shelf life is over. You know,
Yeah.
so they passed the date. So that's what they feel.
So, do they have the shelf life?
Without shelf life, no, not really. No, I think I'm a very spiritual person, and God will use you even the last day of your life.
Yes.
And so there's no shelf life. I mean, you can still be active. We can. I had a 93-year-old who came to my office and said, "Look, I have no problem. I want to learn Bharatanatyam. Is it okay?" I said, "Cool, go for it." Okay. So I have a 97-year-old. She walks faster than me. So, and she's cool. And she's doing all the right things. She's reading the Harry Potters and all this stuff.
Good.
It's not that she's old and weird reading about some Hitchcock books or something like that. So I think you can be cool.
Yeah.
So there's no shelf life, I'm
Yeah.
afraid. Even the last day of your life, God can still use you
Yeah.
to bring about His will and to bring about goodness in the world. So there's no shelf life.
True. I think they should also think in such a way that they still have the potential to accomplish certain tasks. And also the society also have to, deal with them in the same manner.
Yes, we are,
So,
isn't it? We should be because we are indebted to them, and we should have a gratitude, an attitude of gratitude to say to them that thank you for what you've done, and also I tell all my younger people, when you talk to your parents, especially with men are not good in expressing. We don't say I love you, dad. I love you, mom. It's always wonderful to say it to your mom and dad. I think your curry is the best. I so loved it. Because of you, I'm what I am. And it's a music for them, and they keep talking about it through the day. My son said this.
yeah.
So I think I think especially the men should express. Women are good in talking and chatting. They can talk a lot of things, but it's a
Yeah.
men's thing. I think you need to be
More
spend some
expressive.
time,
Yeah.
expressive, tell thank you to your parents.
True.